morning. So I haven't really shot any video for the last couple of days. I've just been working. I've been driving into Minden and Gardnerville, Nevada, which are just south of Carson City. I've been driving there to work at the library and to upload a video at Starbucks. I've just been coming back into California, into the National Forest land to camp. It's a 20-minute to maybe about 40-minute drive depending on where I've camped. This particular camp that I'm at now is actually one of my favorites that I've had. It's not very flashy, but it's just really nice. So let me show you here. So the camp is kind of tucked back into this little stand of trees here. There's a big old fire pit here. And this is what I think is really neat. Someone came out here and built a picnic table. This is not an established campground. There aren't any other campsites in the area, really. But yeah, a great little picnic table. I used this yesterday to cook dinner. I made some tomato, basil pasta. It was very convenient to have the picnic table there. So I'm out here on the dirt road. You can see the campsite just tucked away back in there. Some really pretty mountains over here. And then it's kind of an open area that becomes a meadow down here. It's just a really pretty little spot. I really like this spot. And I found it, I was in a camp a couple miles up the road, up the main highway out there, because that's where I camped a couple nights ago. But as I was driving, I saw this little dirt road, it was a very small dirt road, cutting off, and so I thought, you know, I've got some time, what the heck, I'll check it out. And I did, and I found this great little spot. There's a wildfire burning kind of near Yosemite, about what, 75 or 100 miles away, but the wind has been blowing all of the smoke this direction. So last night as I was going to bed, it was really strong smoke smell, and to the point where I was coughing quite a bit actually, but it died down. I can still smell it this morning, but it's definitely not as hazy as it was yesterday. Yesterday in the Carson Valley in Minden and Gardnerville, it was very hazy. You could barely even see the mountains that are just a couple miles away. So I'm in South Lake Tahoe, on the edge of Lake Tahoe, and I have some bad news. It is not nice out there. You can see all the haze. The air is just smoky. You can kind of see the mountains. I just don't want to be in this kind of air. It's just not pleasant to be in, so it's kind of a bummer. There are a couple things I wanted to do in this area, but I've been here before, so no big loss. I'm gonna find a Starbucks so I can get online and then figure out where I'm gonna go. I guess I'll just head north, further into Northern California, but I'm gonna get online and see exactly where I'm gonna go. Alright, so I just spent a couple of hours in Starbucks getting some work done and doing some research. I think I'm gonna go up to Lassen Volcanic National Park. It's a smaller national park. It's not one of the bigger ones. It doesn't have the name recognition of Yosemite or Grand Canyon or Yellowstone, but it's a really cool little national park. I've been there before and I really liked it. There's a lot more there to see and do that I haven't done. I think today I'm going to drive up there. It's about 4 hours away, probably 5 with stops to get gas and food and things like that. I might do a short hike or two, and then tomorrow I think I'm going to do a longer hike, tomorrow the next day I'm going to do a 2-day backpacking trip. So that's the plan. Let's get on the road. There is so much construction. This must be like the the 5th time I've had to stop for construction where they do the, the flag person and you wait and the, ugh. This is the Lassen Volcanic National Park Visitor Center. I'm gonna go in and ask some questions. All right, so I just chatted with a ranger for a little while in there in the visitor center. I learned a few interesting things. First, the road through the park is closed still, and there's too much snow on the road up there, and so the road going through the park, you can't take it. There's too much snow. They're still plowing it. Right now I'm at the southern end of the park. I'm going to go backpacking in the northeastern part of the park, so I'll need to go around the park entirely to get there. Also, I need to rent a bear canister, which is fine, I knew that, but I need to return it to the place that I rent it from. And so there's a place in the northwestern corner of the park where I can rent a bear canister. So I'll do that tomorrow morning. What else? There's a town, again, here on the south side where I can get some supplies, some food for my hike. So this is going to be a 2-day hike. Just an overnight backpacking trip. I have a wilderness permit. You need a backcountry permit to go camping in the park outside of designated campgrounds. So I got that. I've got maps, and so just a lot I gotta juggle right now before I start off in the morning. So I think right now I'm gonna go get supplies from that little town, and then I'll drive around to the northwest corner of the park, near where I pick up the bear canister. I think there's national forest land over there where I can park. I'll check the map here in a minute. So I'll park and camp there for the night on national forest land, pick up my bear canister at 9 in the morning, and then drive to the trailhead on the other side of the park. So anyway, busy. It's 4:50 p.m. Got a few hours of daylight still, so I can I've got enough time to run these errands and do a bit of planning. Oh man, I am tired. Lots of driving today, and lots of slow driving, and lots of stopping at construction zones, and just kind of a long day. Not the best day, but I finally made it to the north side of Lassen Volcanic National Park. Found a campsite on national forest land. Nothing too amazing. It gets the job done. I imagine that these trees with the orange paint on them, either they have been marked to be cut down or marked to be saved from being cut down. I'm not sure. And there's this big old pile of branches and twigs and brush. Again, this seems to be logging territory, logging country. I've been passing by big old logging trucks all day, but I don't think there's any logging activity here at this moment. I'm gonna sit and just kind of regroup for a minute here. I think I'll get some pasta out that I made last night. I'll see if it's any good cold. If not, I guess I'll have to heat it up, but I'm really not feeling like doing dishes and heating things up, so hopefully it'll taste good cold. If not, I might just eat it cold anyway. It's still actually pretty good. It'd be better heated up, but it's pretty good the way it is. I wanted to go over a few little changes that I've made to little things in my camping setup. This isn't anything major, but there's little changes that I've made either since I've been on the road here or since I made in preparations for this trip. And so I guess the first one is this pocket here. So I use this as a pocket for drinks. and anything else that I need to stash somewhere temporarily. This other thing that I made is this up here. This is a visor bag, but unlike the commercially available ones, this is just one big, I mean it's not that big, but it's just one pocket. No slots, no little clear windows, nothing to put a pen, it's just a bag. And I wanted that because I just wanted somewhere where I could stick a ton of receipts and also brochures and things like that. But mostly I use it for receipts, and it's great for that. I can just stuff my receipts in there, and then I tally them up at the end of the day or every couple of days. Another thing I want to show you is this big gray thing right here. This is a 4-gallon water jug. Here it is. It's a, like I said, a 4-gallon water jug, 15 liters. And it's the Armor-Dillo by Reliance. You can see it was $19 at a local outdoor store. I like this because it really doesn't take up much more space than the 1-gallon jugs that I used to have down there. Now I still do have a couple of these. Let's see, what are these? 3-liter jugs. And just because of the shape, it really doesn't take up much more space, especially when this thing is sitting on this end. But it's a lot more water. And then I still do have a couple of these and then some other 1-liter jugs or 1-liter bottles too. And so even with that jug in place and with these other water jugs, there's still a lot of room back there. I could fit a couple more gallons of water if I needed to, but usually this is plenty. This is all I need. This is the portable little shower tent and toilet tent that I use. Works really well. I really like it. I think it's being sold under a different name now on Amazon, but the same tent is still available on Amazon. I've made a couple of changes to it. The first is that I cut out the mosquito netting that was at the top. You can see part of it still here, but I cut off everything that was up on the top. And I did that for 2 reasons. The first is that when I use my shower setup on the tall pole that I have, you know, I hang the little solar camp shower on top of a pole so that it's up higher. When I use that, I needed a way to get the shower head into the top of the shower tent. At first I started out by just cutting a little slit in the mosquito netting, and that worked fine. I could, you know, slide the shower head in there. But the second reason I did it is because after I'd used the tent and I'd be letting it dry because it was wet from taking a shower, flies would get into it. Flies would fly in and get stuck in there. And so there would be dozens of flies just buzzing around in the top there. And even when I would close the door here quickly after using it for going to the bathroom or taking a shower, there would still be a few flies in there that would get in. And so I thought, you know, I don't really need that. I'm not too worried about bugs getting me when I'm taking a shower. And so I just cut it out, and I haven't had any problem with it. Another thing I've done is add a third tie-down strap to secure my kayak. I had this strap and this strap on for a while, but I added this third one here for a couple of reasons. To keep the cover on, keep that black cover on, and also just to keep the kayak on. These straps here, these black ones, aren't the best straps in the world, and so instead of getting a couple new ones, I just added this third one, and it's been working really well. It's a ratchet strap. The kayak has yet to fly off in bumpy or windy conditions, and this strap goes around the kayak, then it goes around the side rail here. You've seen me use this hanging table now in a few of my videos, and I've made a couple changes to it, or I've made one change. That is to add a piece of pipe insulation. I believe this is 1/2-inch pipe insulation, and that just keeps the plastic surface of the table away from my car, so it won't scratch it. I don't think it would have scratched it, but just in case, I decided to add the padding there. Another thing that I will change when I get back, so you can see, I don't know if you can see, you can't see it very well, but it's bent like this. This is especially noticeable when there's a lot of weight on the table, of course. I mean, that makes sense. But like if I'm boiling a pot of water, then the dip becomes even more pronounced. I think also the heat from the stove might weaken this a little bit. I'm not sure. But I'm going to replace it with a wooden surface when I get home. And when I have access to a drill so I can drill holes. So that was just a quick little rundown of some gear changes and gear additions I've made and I guess plan on making also. So far everything's been working really well on this trip. Let me know if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, and thanks for watching.